he continues now. Joe is now working as a consultant for Stark County government with regard to his position on the operation of the SCOG, of the CAD. We've also asked him to look at radio issues, which are a continuing discussion between Canton and Stark County and the sheriff and so forth. So there continues to be a representative on that, and I've asked him to also look at the RMS and any other related issues for us.
There was a radio meeting, of course, the sheriff, the Monday between the city and the sheriff about how to move forward on the 800 system for the next 3 or 4 years, or actually more.
Is there some role that SCOG can play in that?
Radios?
Yeah.
Well, certainly it's a county-wide. The radio system is available to everybody in the county. Not everybody in the county is connected to it, although that is the desire to have that happen. From a governance board standpoint, we did recommend that the money, the sales tax dollars, that was left over from CAD would be spent on radios. That was a recommendation from the governance board. I'm sure there's always a part for SCOG to play if they wish to do so. It really is a cooperation of all the entities and safety forces in the county. It would be ideal to have one dispatch center, one radio system. That's our ultimate goal. I don't know when we'll reach that, but that is our ultimate goal.
If I could chime in on that, Sheriff, you were doing a test with the Red Center
Yes.
on 800 radios, if you want to.
Yeah, we have been working on a pilot project or a beta project with the Jackson Township Police with the 800 radios and getting them on the system. We had a few glitches, a few dead spots that we're working through with the vendor. That was discussed actually at the what they call a radio owners meeting 2 days ago. And we're trying to work out any of those glitches and basically make the system available to everybody in the county. We feel that eventually that we're all going to be there regardless, and so it's a good idea to start to get people to see the value in it and come on board.
And Marty, to your point, for years when we were trying to get this off the ground, nobody wanted 800 radios. Now they all want 800 radios, and there's no money to buy 800 radios. Right. And my fear is, as Joe knows, is there's some departments looking at buying other radios other than 800s, lower band radios, because of the cost. And it's the last thing we want to see happen, is to get away from the consolidation of 800 band. So I know that Western Stark County, Massillon, and Jackson wrote two joint grants that neither one of them they've got back for fire, and we found nothing available for police and grant money. So
currently, I believe Canton Fire is looking at writing a grant as well, similar to that grant that Massillon and Jackson wrote.
Was that for 800 radios?
Yes.
Massillon, Jackson?
Radio
Yes.
equipment.
And the idea was that if Massillon and Jackson received the grant, they were going to then reallocate the 800 radios that were purchased through the regular money years ago to the smaller departments. So you could have literally moved most of Western Stark County to 800. But again, like everything else in government, no money. It's not for lack of one now. Everybody's pretty much agreed to the 800s. We just got to get the funding.
Unsyncopated rhythm. Did you say regular got the money last time?
Yeah, there's a lot of regular money that Ralph regular. That's a long time ago.
Right.
That money was probably 10 years ago,
At least.
Yeah, that's probably
yeah,
2002.
Right.
about that.
I think the sheriff don't you still have some of those radios
We
too?
do. Well, there's a lot of those radios around yet. The sad part about those radios is a good number of them just sat on shelves for many, many years because of the lack of cooperation internally, maybe on some things and a few other issues. But we're trying to get them out and get them used and get people to see the value in the system. That's between the city and the county. That's the partnership that we have come up with to try to really get users. We need users. We need users on the system. And once they see the value of the system, they'll want to be part of the system.
Are they still operable, Sheriff? Still
Yes,
current
they are.
technology?
Until about 2016,
Yeah.
a couple more years. The current radios, And then some of those can be flashed or upgraded, and then some can't. But, you know, that's something that's part of the whole, trying to get the grant to get some more radios and then to move those out.
We did have a meeting with Commissioner Berger, obviously, like everybody else. There's only so much money left out of that sales tax. It's not nearly enough money to do what the cost would be to upgrade the radios.
2018 is the key year. That's when they'll stop support of the radio system that you presently have. And you could be looking up to $10, $20 million, to be honest with you, depending on which direction you go on, whether you go with Marks or you go with Summit County or you create your own radio system here by your own controller. So it's not, yeah, I mean, as we have said, and I know everybody at this table agrees, that you got to start planning this now, because you can't come up in 2018 all of a sudden say I need $12, $15 million to refurbish my radio system. So I think that's what the sheriff and the city are meeting for now, trying to create a plan so that when that 2018 date is, that the plan is in place and as much of the money is in place as possible.
We will continue to update on that topic. Again, the key issue there is that Motorola stops supporting the existing equipment. We need to go to the next generation equipment, which also means upgrading all of our towers or some of our towers.
All of them.
Not necessarily
Well,
all of them.
depending on which
what we
system.
do. But again, those tower upgrades, I think, are what, $500,000 per tower, ballpark? Yeah.
Ballpark, going to a P25 system.
I saw 2 counties had safety levies on, countywide. I wondered both, does anybody know what those
Summit
include?
County had
Radio
a safety
systems?
levy on to
Did
help.
it include
To
radio
help
systems?
support, yes, to help support the radio
Did it
system.
pass?
It did not.
Huh.
And they're already working, Summit's already, they have the exact same system we have here. It's called a 401 system. And they-
4.0.
4.0, I'm sorry. They have the, they're already working towards the next platform. So they're already moving in that direction. Their challenge is going to be, what all of our challenges is how do we pay for it?
And there's also an increase in dispatch center costs, because once we move to a P25 system, which you're almost going to have to do that, you're going to have to change out all the consoles on all the dispatch centers. And those are probably around $80,000 each. It's a big problem that we just need to start planning for.